Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Talks. How are you? So, for the next hour and 15 minutes or so, I'm going to be bringing some of you fine folk on who watched uh, the episode and give you an opportunity to actually talk about what you guys saw. So, yeah, I've had a couple of days, obviously, now. Well, yeah, a couple of days to think about what I saw. Um, I will say this episode does have a lot of flaws, but overall, I'm still going to stick by what I said. I found it very interesting. Um, I am looking forward to next week. I just hope now that he can build on what he started off with. Now, obviously, people want to know what the overnights were like. And to nobody's surprise, of course, they are low. But there are factors to that. What I'm going to say is, for the first episode, I don't think we can really judge the overnights because of a couple of factors, right? The first one is BBC's ridiculous decision to actually put the first episode on Halloween night, right? We've got to acknowledge that, right? There's no point of beating around the bush, right? They put it on Halloween night, right? At 25 past 6, when most kids will be out trick or treating. So, in fairness, the 4 point, what was it? I think it was, I'll tell you now. Hold on. Let me get the exact numbers now. Just bear with me. Or someone in the chat can throw them in because everybody knows them. Sorry, I just threw them on Twitter. So, you know, there are factors to why this first episode performed the way it did that night. Now, what I would say is, until we start screaming and saying, that this proves that the show is dead, all of this, I think for this episode, you'll have to wait for the consolidated figures, the 7-day figures to come through, right? Because as I said, a lot of people would have been out trick or treating with their kids, right? Now, it'll depend if they were Doctor Who fans, we'll have to wait and see. So we'll see how many is added on to the. I have them here on Twitter, so just bear with me. I'm on the account now. But you have to look at all angles here, right? Because people will be shouting, "Oh no, this proves that it was crap." Look, a lot of people are saying it is a flawed episode. Nobody's going to sit here and say it was perfect and that it was absolutely, amazing. It wasn't. There you go. 4.43 million, right? So a lot of people on this panel, when I was asking them for the overnights, were pretty spot on. I have to give it to you. So well done. But look, there are factors to this. The 7-day consolidated figures, especially, will be very interesting to see if there's actually an uptake. Now, I will be asking people who come on the panel, so it's 4.43 million right now. With the 7 days gone by, I'm going to ask them what they think, how many more will be added onto this episode. It'll be very interesting to see, do people think the same as they did the other day, or are they all going to have a different figure in mind? We have to see. But I haven't done my review yet because I've just been sitting here, as I said, kind of just letting it all sink in. I'm going to watch it again tonight because I didn't watch it when I said I was going to watch it. I decided not to just kind of let everything sink in. So I'm going to watch it again tonight and I'm going to take notes. So I have my folder here. So I'm going to take some notes and we'll talk about the things that obviously I liked and that bugged me. Because there is a few things. Nobody look at nobody, even Lee even said it himself, right? It's a mess, right? Especially the start. Not gonna lie, it's a mess. But I can get what he's trying to do, which is he's trying to set up all these characters. Unfortunately, there was too many characters in the one. I will agree with everybody there, right? But I can see what he's trying to do, and the cliffhanger was pretty impressive. I'm sorry, even if you hate this era, if that cliffhanger, you are watching that, and that cliffhanger didn't store something in you, then I don't know, because that cliffhanger was pretty impressive. Um, and that's what I'm saying. Look, when Jodie Whittaker said in an interview that this would pique your interest, right? Of course, my natural reaction was, yeah, yeah, yeah. I dismissed it, but I have to say, she's right. This is piquing me interest. I want to see what happens next week, or Sunday, I should say. Tell me, when was the last time anybody felt like that? There's people, even people on the panel, were like, okay, yeah, we'll see what happens next week. That never happens. Everybody that's ever been on this panel, that's ever watched the Doctor Who episode, does be dreading the next episode. Now, I will say this, right? I'm going to say this out straight. While I do think the first episode is flawed, and I do like it, Chris Chibnall, his Achilles heel has always been his second and third episodes of his series, right? Every series that he's done, series 11 and series 12, by the second and third episode, that's where that's where he fails, right? That's where he fails. It completely, like, for example, right? We had Spyfall Part 1. Everybody on this channel at the time, and everybody on Twitter, was saying that it was a decent episode, right? And you were like, okay, let's see what happens in the second episode. And that's where it went all haywire, right? That second episode actually annoyed a lot of people as well, right? So the second and third episode is where his downfall is. Now, next week, it's going to be very telling whether, as I said, by next week we're going to know whether this series, this new format that well, he thinks it's a new format, but we will know by the second episode whether he's going to succeed in this or he's going to fail. Seriously, it'll be by the next episode. Now, the next episode is the Sontaran War. And I have to say, by the little trailer and the details that we've been given, it does look like a stunning, spectacular thing. Now, I will say one thing, because a lot of people are bringing up this point, and it's a fair point. They're saying that there's a lot of flashy stuff going on, right? And that is a tactic that is used by poor writers to kind of gloss over the bad writing. Okay? Now, we will know by next week, because Sontaran War is going to be a big episode. But there has to be now, there was characters introduced this week, right? Obviously, there's going to be more characters introduced next week. But the thing about it is now he has to start building on every single one of these characters now that he's introduced so far. Now, can he do that in a 55-minute episode or whatever? This is going to be the thing. Is he going to be able to move along, but everybody is not going to, by the second episode, still be scratching their heads and going like, okay, now, like 2 episodes in, who is this? We still don't know who this character is. That's the thing. So next week and the third weekend is going to be very telling, right? Because by the third episode, we'll be 3 episodes in. We'll be halfway through his series 13 Flux, Doctor Who Flux. And we'll know then. I hope he does. Look. I don't like the man. I don't like what he's done to Doctor Who. I don't like the decisions he's made. You all know that. But I just hope for the sake of the show and for him personally, because he has gotten a lot of stick, and rightly so. Though I'll never back down on that. And I've said about the man, never. But I want him to go out on a high, because you know I want the show to be in a better state for when RTD takes over. You know, like RTD is popular, and he will automatically, like I read today, right? It's costing BBC Studios 14 million to bring RTD back. 14 million to bring RTD back. So I posed the question, well, why not stick with the cheap option in Chibnall and Whittaker? Because that way then you're actually saving money. Yeah? But they decided that no, we're not going to do that. We're going to bring in RTD. It's going to cost us 40 million, and it's going to be worth every single penny. Because right away, like, this is what I said to everybody. Gorminator was on here a couple of weeks back, right? And he said it. This is a full-blown rescue mission. And that's what it is. You don't lose 40 million, right? You don't you know what I mean? You don't just give 40 million to bring someone back. It cost them 40 million to bring RTD back. You don't do that unless you really are screwed. And they had to do it. I told you, look, nobody believed me. And, this is where this is going. So that's why this series, it's, as I said, it's got its flaws. I think both sides are saying it's got its flaws, but it does pique our interest. There is some interesting characters in there. The cliffhanger is absolutely amazing. I don't care what anybody says. And I have to say, bar the start of it where the visuals were a bit dodgy, right? The CGI for the rest of the episode. And I've seen people complain about the CGI throughout the whole of the episode. I think that's just people nitpicking, right? If you actually look at it, they improve massively after the first scene. They're absolutely wonderful. And then right at the end, there's some beautiful shots as well. But look at this, could be all smoke and mirrors, as I said, right? Could be all smoke and mirrors. I hope it's not. I hope now next week and the week after now, he starts, developing these characters. But he has to develop them fast now. This is the problem, right? But can he develop these characters fast enough so the audience can keep up, but also tell a good story? Now, if this was Broadchurch season 1, I'd say Chibnall, I'd say yes. But this isn't Broadchurch season 1 Chibnall, or even Torchwood Chibnall. So we have to wait and see. But he has to keep, the people said it, it is true, he has to keep the momentum up. And can he do that while developing the characters and moving the story along? The past will tell us no. But can he actually do this? Do you know what? A part of me is kind of willing him on that he does succeed in this. And then we get a favourable ending for everybody, for all fans, right? And you all know what the big elephant is in the room. Everybody has spoke about it. It's the timeless child. It's not going away with fans. I think now that this series has even started, that a lot of fans are coming out now, and they've just said, like, if nothing is done about this, and if there's not a satisfactory outcome, they're gone. After seeing that first episode, anything is possible now. Look, he's doing something massive. He is. He's actually doing something massive. He's at the starting off quite big. no matter whether you agree with me or not, that was a massive episode. It was big. He tried to make it as big as possible. That's why we got the fast pace. Tried to move it along, scene from scene, like, and then by the end of it, you get this big, massive flux, and it looks amazing. There's just he's definitely working on something big. But I don't know. To be fair, is like Lee. I think the second episode could suffer a little bit in pacing. You never know. You never know. You never know. Look at. I will always try and see what someone's doing. And so far, all I know is that something big and massive is definitely happening at the end of his run on this current series until we get into the specials. And I've got a funny feeling it's going to be left on a cliffhanger, and it's going to be a big cliffhanger. But whether we're all still going to be cheering them on, hopefully, or whether we're all going to be sitting here with the same feeling that we have after episode 2 and 3, which is deflatement, disappointment, utter rage, because it's also episode 2 and 3 is where he does something, right? Where the plot completely takes you by surprise. For example, we got the fugitive doctor, and we got other stuff as well. He does this. This is a trope. As I said, people keep forgetting. I've said this several times on this channel, right? I'm blue in the face now saying it. But Chibnall is a man of habit, right? So I know, look, you just have to look at some of those characters, and I was thinking about it. I wouldn't be surprised, and a lot of people were saying this, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them is another of these so-called doctors that we don't know. Something's not right. The black goo coming out of the Tardis as well, right? I said it on this channel. Marty was here as well. The Tardis is dying. There's something going on. I can't put my finger on it right now. I'm normally very good at this, but because Chris Chibnall's writing is still a bit all over the place, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on there. We just have to wait. Look, as I said, pique me interest. I'm looking forward to the second episode. I am, because I do like the Sontarans and I love the design. I just hope now that he can move on now from the first episode and start setting things up now. This is what he needs to do, because he's only got 4 episodes. Unless he's going to drag this story out with these specials as well, which he probably should have made clear if that is what he's going to do, because I think a lot of people, including myself, are looking for this situation to be tied up at the end of this curtain series, and then into the specials. Then she does her thing, and then whatever. Everybody is saying that the TARDIS is in the wrong universe, but I'd like to point out to people, if I'm correct in saying, okay, it was a parallel universe, but when David Tennant's TARDIS crash landed on a parallel universe, it's because the TARDIS died. Would we have not seen that happen somewhere during series 11 and 12 to set this up? Or by being a stickler about it? Or is this a completely different dimension or something? I got see this is the thing with Chris Chibnall. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We got 31 people watching. Listen, I just want to say something actually before we continue. So, I was setting this stream up, and then obviously I was in the YouTube studio, and I just was blown away. We're only 3 subs away from 2,000 subscribers. I just can't believe it. So I just want to thank you all. I want to thank everybody that's just recently subscribed as well, actually. And thanks for supporting the channel. But what I'm going to do now is, what is it? It's 20 past 7. So for the next half hour, 40 minutes or so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring people on that have watched the episode. And obviously there's been a little bit of time to think about things. By the way, on Friday, the Tardis Zone Talks will be bringing on people, obviously, that have watched the episode yet again. But this time, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, obviously, the next episodes, the Sontaran War. So, what we're going to do on that particular Tardis Zone Talks is get people on that watch the episode, and obviously, we know the Sontarans are going to be in the next episode, and see if they can tell me what they would like to see happen in the next episode, what needs to happen in the next episode, and all of that other stuff. So, be very interesting stream. So, come and join us. So, basically, we'll be getting a panel on to kind of, tell us what they expect from the next episode, which I think is a good idea. So, yeah, if you're interested, you know what to do. Be here in the chat. And obviously, if you want to come on, you can come on. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So what we'll do is I'll ask everybody who wants to come on to let me know in the chat right now. What I'll do is I'll send you an email, or if I have to send you the link, I'll send you the link. But yeah, let me know now. I'll do a few shout outs as well. So we got a real super doctor in the chat. We got Michael in the chat. We got Alpha Omega in the chat. We've got Cardwitch in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Bad Wolf 66 Cinnamon Toast Crunch is also in the chat. Problem being Lee. Apparently we've been taken over by the pod people. Yeah, people, that's one thing actually I want to say. A lot of people are very surprised at me and Lee's reaction to the first episode. Listen, I can't speak for Lee, but I'm pretty sure he'd be in agreement with me here. Whereas we said we will give this series a fair shot, right? Which means we'll give an honest appraisal, honest opinion on what we see, right? We're not going to just hate something for the sake of it because obviously the past, right? It's not as easy to kind of leave everything in the past, right? When it comes to the other 2 seasons, but I'm trying my very best, right? Because I want to give this a fair shot, but at the same time, I want to give an honest, and I've always given an honest opinion anyway. But I think people are surprised. I don't know what it is. Like, as I said, it's been bad the last 2 years, and I had every right to criticize the way I did, right? But I have to say, I did like the festive special, the latest one. I thought it was an improvement on what he gave us. And I have to say, the first episode of Chapter 1 of Flux wasn't a bad episode. So I'm just calling it as I see it. But now we need to see the next level now, as I said, So we'll see. But I just wanted to make it clear, we're not going to hate something for the sake of hating. We're going to be honest about what we see. And, we're not going to be echo chambers and get into all of that nonsense, Dr. Woke and all of this crap, right? We're just gonna talk about it, and we're gonna judge it on what we see on screen, and that's it. And by the way, everybody saw me watch it live anyway as well, so you would have saw me live reaction. So, it did surprise me. There's Lee. He says hello, welcome. The classic 80s fanboy Sigma later is also there. As I said, if you want to come on, let me know. I don't know if I've missed. Our real super doctor says he can come on and on comics, right? Grand. If anybody else wants to come on, just let me know there. Um, but look, Lee made a very valid point. I want to bring this up because you know the one thing that we've said about this era of Doctor Who is that this feels disconnected and doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like Doctor Who. But this episode, and again, I think Lee brought this point up. This did feel like a Doctor Who episode. For the first time, we actually got an episode of Chris Chibnall that felt like Doctor Who, and he hasn't done that during his reign. So that was another thing that I will say was a positive. Now you must keep it up, because having this on terms and all makes no difference, right? As people say, you can have all these nice things in it, but there has to be substance now to all of this, right? So he has to produce now the second and third episode. But he started at such a fast pace. Maybe he should have slowed it down a little bit more, and maybe cut this. I know people hate me for saying this, but maybe this should have been really a two-part story, right? First story, introduce some characters, build them up a little bit. Second part, build up, bring in new characters again, and build them up. And then by the time you get to the second chapter, then you can move your story forward. Um, this could have done with being longer, yeah. But we'll see. Look, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Right. So I'm going to bring on. Who did I say I was bringing on? See, I've lost all sense of reality now. Right. I just want to make sure, right, put here. Listen, if you haven't seen the episode, this is not for people that haven't seen. There's no point of bringing you on and saying, and he's coming on saying that this, that, and the other, and you haven't even seen the episode. If you've seen the episode, you can come on. So only people that have seen the episode. So Real Super Doctor, wasn't it? Was the first one. So hold on. Right, we're gonna send some emails out. I'll be finishing in a half an hour or so. So I'm just gonna bring everybody on together, and guys, if you could do me a favor, right? Because I'm bringing these all on together, I want to get everybody in, and give everybody the same amount of time as possible. So we could just wait until someone starts and finishes a point before the next person jumps in. If they want to add on to what the person said, or agree or disagree with some points, that's fair enough. Then give your point of view. We move on to the next person, and so on and so on. And do us a favor, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, guys. As I said, if you want a fair analysis of this series, this is the channel to be at. We have a great panel, I have to say. They've been all fair and honest. Even the panelists that didn't like this episode, I thought were fair in their analysis. That's their point of view as well. So they're entitled to that. That's the good thing about this channel. We have people that have different points of view, and none of us fall out. We all have different tastes. We all have different levels of expectation. Some of us obviously have kind of lowered our expectations, and some haven't, and that's the way it'll be in the fandom. Let me see. Who else have I missed? Anybody else? I've sent 2 emails there. If I've missed anybody, hold on. I just want to make sure that I haven't missed anybody. Damn, the chat keeps skipping. Right, so whoever else Tardis on lets different points of view, and then Noel shouts at you. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. Are you coming on tonight, Lee? Let me know. And I saw Alpha Omega as well. But have you seen the episode now, Alpha? Did you watch it? Because do you know what? As I said, right, here's the thing as well. I was right. A lot of people that said that they wouldn't watch the episode um, ended up watching it. It'll be interesting to see will word of mouth now actually boost the 7 day consolidated figures. Listen, whoever the brainstorming genius is at the BBC to put a Doctor Who episode on Halloween night and thinking that it actually, you know, don't know, maybe they thought that mothers and fathers would keep their kids at home because of the current situation. But it was actually the opposite. A lot of people were trying to get out, and Halloween was the perfect excuse. So I'll be interested to see the 7 day figure, see what else is added onto that, if anything. And then I think that'll be a true reflection of that particular episode, right? Now, if it does get a bounce, right, I'll ask everybody what they think, what kind of bounce it'll get. Will depend on the bounce. But if it does well, right, and say overseeds everybody's expectations and does do well, then the second episode, then there is no excuse then, because then obviously there's interest there if these numbers do go up, say, another level, right? I'm just saying, right, hypothetically, it's not going to happen, I don't think, in all reality. But if it did, right, then the second episode, then there's no excuse. Everybody's going to be watching, right? It'll be interesting to see then what happens after that. Some people are saying the consolidated will be 6 million. Lee, I've sent you your email. I'm sending Alpha. Did you see the episode? Yeah, I'll send you your email. You can tell me in the private chat if you've seen the episode. If you didn't, I'm sorry, but it's for people that seen the episode. Bleeding washing machine, shut up, people. It's not a canine. That's the sad thing. Right, this computer is very slow tonight, so bear with me. So I've sent emails there. So everybody should emails. So consolidated will be 6 million. I'm not coming on. I want to allow others to speak, says Lee. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I think the consolidated will be between 5.5 and 6 million. As I said, only people that have watched the episode. So let me know if you've seen it. Bad Wolf said you can come on. So you've seen it as well, Bad Wolf, yeah? I just want to make sure, because look, it's only fair to bring on the people that watched it. There's no point of bringing you on if you didn't watch it just to come on and complain about it, even though you haven't seen it. That makes no sense. If you want to be taken seriously, then in fairness, if you want to be taken seriously, you have to watch the episode. Because if you're online and you're complaining about something that you didn't see, you'd look like a right idiot, wouldn't you? That's the thing, you would. So I suggest that, yeah. Oh, you watched it as well. All right, Bad Wolf, I'll bring you on. That's fair enough. I just want to make sure that people have watched the episode. Because let's be honest, there's no point bringing someone on that hasn't seen it. Right, so I still have your email there. So Bad Wolf, it's under Bad Wolf Gamer, that's all I'll say. So I've sent you your email. Right, let's bring on the people that we have on. I'm ready to give. As I said, feckin'. I don't know what's happened this Chromebook. It's gone very slow. Right, let's bring on our first guest. It's the one and only real super doctor.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Not bad. I've seen the episode twice.
Well, I'm actually surprised now at that because, Uh,
It's
because on the panel you are highly critical, which is fair enough. As I said,
yeah,
you're entitled, and you did have genuine
yeah.
reasons to be like, you've set your standard. You haven't kind of, you know,
Well, it's because
you've stuck by what you believe Doctor
yeah,
Who is,
yeah,
and for you, yeah. So I understood that. But you watched it a second time. I'll ask you what you thought now in a minute. Let's bring on the next couple of guests that we have on, because they're all starting to come in now. So we got on comics as well. Hello.
Hey, Noel. How are
How are
things?
you? Not too bad. I'm doing good. How are you?
Getting by, getting by. I did get to see the episode, and I have not gotten to watch it twice, but I did get to see it once.
Okay. Well, I'll ask you how you feel now in a minute, because
Okay.
obviously we haven't gotten your point of view on it. So we'll start off with you now in a second. So I'll just bring on our next guest. It's the one and only Alpha Omega.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Right, you're here. That's fantastic. Love it. I love it. Sorry, I've gotten. Didn't mean to do that. I have an itch in my eye, so I'm rubbing my second. I've got an itch. Do you ever get an itch in the back of your eye, but you can't get at it? That's what I have right now,
yeah.
and it's really annoying. Sorry. So if I start blinking here and stuff, it's not because there's a weeping angel there. We'll talk about that now in a minute. And we've got the one and only Bad Wolf 66.
Hello.
Hello.
It's been ages since I've been on here.
Yeah, well, it's nice to have you on. It's nice to have you on. But what we will do is we'll start off with on comics. So you got to watch the episode. So
Yes, I did.
So what did you think? Go ahead.
I was actually impressed, given what my expectations were. But seeing that first scene wrap up with dropping the are we allowed to give spoilers?
Oh yeah. I
Okay.
forgot to add. Yeah, I should have actually. Well, listen, everybody should have watched it by now. Anyway, it's 2 days later. So what I'll do is hold on before we start. Right, there we go. Right, scrolling across the screen there's going to be spoilers. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, I suggest that you get your asses out of here and go and watch the episode if that's what you want to do. And then you can come back and watch this stream. And then while you are it, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you. Right, go ahead on comics.
All right. Yeah, I was actually impressed with the amount, the volume of storytelling that was going on in the first episode. The stinger where we drop Yaz and the Doctor onto a conveniently placed bed is just the weirdest damn thing to see on a Doctor Who episode. I assume that's pandering to the people that needed to see.
Well, it worked. It worked because I was looking at the comments afterwards, and that was the thing that they were focusing on. I did see that, and I did bring it up. That was absolutely ridiculous. Like that was definitely setting up. But I did have a rumor, and I did put it out there, and it was reported by Diva magazine until a certain other YouTuber out there got his nose out of joint, and then went to the magazine and basically had them take down the links to the video. That they were going to explore the Doctor's sexuality in this series. So yeah, there could be a chance of that happening, but go ahead.
Yeah, I just it just felt an awfully like they were pandering to someone or trying to hook someone into the after watch commentaries. It didn't contribute anything meaningful to the show, and it wasn't funny enough to fall in line with the stream of random and stupid things that Jodie was saying. But the name check of Nitro 9 was interesting, if not nice. And I confess, I kept watching the acid scene, wishing that their independent little broomsticks would just plummet right into the acid, but that's only from past evils repaid. I thought that there was a certain level of quality improvement between this episode and all the other episodes that I have watched with Jodie.
I agree.
And I'll go a step further and say, after the episode, I was reflecting on it, and I said, there's a pace here that's familiar to me. And I think somebody took Chibs aside and said, look, just do the one thing that you can do. And he did. He's plugging in the check marks and the blanks the way he did with the very first season of Broadchurch. That's what it feels like in the pacing of the first episode. Here is a laundry basket full of characters and pointless misdirections. Let's see if you keep watching this for another episode, and it's for that reason I keep referring it to Dog Church. But
sorry, I'm just having a bit of a scrap in the live chat there with Lee. I've sent them. All right. Who do you think? Listen, I'm walking as fast as I fucking can with a slow computer. What did I say at the start? Oh, you were fashionably late, so you didn't hear me say that my computer is running slow.
Yeah? I heard.
Yeah, see, he heard. You didn't. All right, open those ears. All right. Anyway, all joking, I've sent them, Lee, so don't worry about it. But thank you for even in the chat, man. Even in the chat, he can find a way to make himself stand out. Look at that with all these little leads.
He'll be joining in minutes.
Maybe you say you'll be coming out. You'll come on now. Just out of spite.
What did you think of the stinger?
What did I think of what?
Of the stinger, the first scene.
Yeah, the first scene. Look, the first scene. I have to be honest. When I seen the first scene, I was kind of, this is not going to be good.
Yeah.
But I have to say, after that first scene, it improved big time.
It did. It improved with Dan and the old Centaurans.
Yeah. Man. Listen, Dan, look, I know people are complaining online, right? There's always going to be people that will just complain for the sake of it, right? But Dan is a lovable character already. And for the first time, Chris Chibnall, right? And people are complaining about this, by the way. They're complaining that Chris Chibnall gave him some character development. Right? So he has a girlfriend, or he fancies a girl, right? And apparently she's a checkbox because she happens to have
a disability.
A disability, right? Which I guarantee there's more to her character than we know right now, right? Which is, I think, is an unfair criticism. She's not a checkbox. We don't look at. She's going to be. We've seen what happened to her. So, like, if people think that she's a checkbox, then seriously, it's really petty. I have to say. But Dan, like, we've seen Dan's situation, so you wouldn't take the soup out of the food bank, right? But we find out that he's actually not doing too well himself. He's on hard times, right? We see that he has a love and a passion for Liverpool because he was in the museum and he was talking to people while he was waiting on your woman to come out, because obviously they were going on this date, no date kind of thing. It's not a date, but it is a date. You know what I mean? And I thought that was very good. And then obviously the banter between him and I keep forgetting, what's the name of the dog?
Carvanista.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So the dog, right? So I love the banter between the two of them. I thought it was great. So look, Huge improvement after that scene. That bed just being conveniently there, just for no reason, just to pander. Look, he's not going to stop doing stuff like that. The difference is that that wasn't the main focus. There was something that he was trying to get us focused on. Look, as I said, this episode does have problems, right? It is all over the place. It is a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in between all of that mess, there is something there.
Yeah.
And it is interesting. We just can't put our finger on it right now. Now, it could be all the glitz and glamour, the CGI. It could be all smoke and mirrors. But I'm hoping now that it's not. And the second episode now starts producing. But he also has to keep up the pace as I spoke about. But guys, let's find out off Alpha Omega. But before I do that, I just want to bring Cinnamon Toast Crunch on. See, told you I'll send an email.
Hail Cinnamon.
Oh, I'm there. So yeah, so I'm looking at the wrong screen. My apologies. Hello, everyone.
Hey. So we'll just get straight into bad Alpha Omega. Sorry, what your thoughts and feelings on the episode? And if you use the word woke once, I'm removing you from the stream. I'm only messing. Go ahead.
Well, it started out with the hoverboard thing with her upside down heroes, and I thought that was crap. And her trying to activate the voice, release, and it wasn't funny the first time. It wasn't funny the 16th time. That was.
He will disagree with you on that one.
Yeah, I'll agree with you in that one.
You guys are just being too. That was actually a good scene.
No, it wasn't. It was absolutely terrible.
But we're trying to disconnect.
Do you want to hear what I have to say or not?
Well, go on, because you're just go on. Okay, where else?
As it went on, I thought that it was a good introduction for John Bishop as his Dan character, and I really liked the character. I liked his sassiness, his ability to give his with the dialogue, with the doggo who captured him. I thought they did a really good job with him, and I really liked that character. I like the fact that overall okay, let's go back to what I didn't like. Didn't like the back and forth. There was so much stuff thrown in there. It was something that I wasn't a big fan of, but overall, I thought that this wasn't that bad of an opening episode for the series, and that on my stream I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Wow!
And I hopefully they hold to the standard or make it even better. The Claire character that they showed, I think, might be another Doctor that they're going to have in an alternate timeline because of just the dialogue that she was presenting by taking the long way home, or like we've seen in previous things that's something that the Doctor said before.
Actually,
I think Claire might be a Doctor, and I think that the Swarm, I liked the baddie in this. I think it's actually someone who actually is someone who's actually menacing for a change, and actually presents a threat to the Doctor. And this may, or in my opinion, may or not be the Master. I don't know, but so I was trying to keep an open mind with this, and I think I did. And it wasn't that bad for the first episode. So we'll see how they continue on from here.
If it wasn't the Master, I think they dropped the ball.
Yeah, there's someone actually did say that, but the thing about it is it'll make no sense if the Master doesn't show up. If he doesn't show up in Series 13, right, this 6-parter, then obviously then he's continuing this story during his specials, because Sasha Dewan has to come back. It would make no sense him telling the Doctor that the Doctor is the timeless child for not to show up again. So I think, look, as I said, this is the thing. You know, this episode does have flaws, but second episode and third episode now, as I've said, is very important now to move this along, to move the characters along, to move the story along. Sasha Dewan has to fit in there somewhere.
It was just my guess as far as about being the Master. The talking to the Doctor through the psychic intrusions or whatever, that telling her that they've battled, over a long period of time, and that he knows her from long time past, and this is going to be the start of their final battle. It sounds like I don't know who else in the history it sounds like, but it could be somebody else. But that was just my take. Maybe I don't know.
It could be the Black Guardian, maybe, but the dialogue doesn't sound like the Black Guardian.
I think it would be obvious it was the Master. It would be too obvious.
Yeah, that's what makes me think he's gonna make an appearance, but as we've seen him, not as someone pretending to be.
Or maybe it's an alternate Master or something. I don't know.
Could be. I look. There's a lot of theories, and we will talk about them on Friday, Alpha. So if you want to come on and discuss your theories on Friday, please do. Because we'll be doing another Tardis Zone talk, because that'll fit in with what we're trying to do every Friday. We look ahead, but obviously give your theories. So that'll be something interesting. But it's clear to see, Bad Wolf, I'll get to you now in a second. But so far, what I've seen online and I've seen on YouTube videos is a mixed reaction to this opener. There are some that absolutely hate it. There are some that didn't like some parts, but they did like some parts. It's a mixed bag. It really is. And that's interesting, because I think it's the first time where everybody in the fandom is kind of like, okay, I wasn't expecting that, but what did we get, and where is this gonna go? Like, there's still a lot of questions. Like, it's very interesting when I read one of the interviews where Jodie Whittaker said there'll be a lot of questions, there'll be a lot of answers. This is the way she actually explained this era. There is certainly a lot of questions. That's all I'll say so far. Whether we get the answers is where Chris Chibnall now will show us if he has the metal or not.
And I actually think John Bishop's a decent actor. Maybe it's just me, but
no, he is. He is.
He's a comedian primarily, but I thought he did a pretty good job.
He's good.
Acting.
He is good. That was a good choice. I have to be honest. Everybody was worried. Now, listen, it's early days for his character, of course. So we'll see where his character goes. But so far, I will say Chris Chibnall's done an okay job with Dan's character. Good dialogue as well. So that's an improvement right there. So I did like that. But I agree with you. He is another bright spot to this era so far. But,
hey Noel, since you're already exposed to John Bishop, is he a bit of a mumbler, or is that something that he's
gone quiet there,
working into this character?
Well, I've seen him acting in other stuff, but he's primarily a comedian, and he does the chat show circuit as well, and he does be on some topical where they do political stuff, but they bring comedians on to take the piss. No, I think that's I don't think it's a natural thing. No, I think it's something that he's working into the character.
Okay.
Obviously, people that Someone just wrote in there, Kip Ellis Noel exposes himself to John Bishop. Oh my God. But no,
Scandal.
look,
Wow.
Joanna Lumley actually said
It's radio times.
on the One Show. I watched the interview because John Bishop was there. They gave us a clip of John Bishop and then they threw it up on Twitter. So I got to see it first on the One Show. But Joanna Lumley actually said about John Bishop, she says, keep your eye on John Bishop. He's a great talented actor. And I thought she was kind of just because, Doctor Who connection there with her as well, because they were discussing Doctor Who. Well, he was discussing Doctor Who. But she was there now, keep your eye on him. And I have to be honest, I actually agree. I think keep your eye on John Bishop. I think his performance is going to be a shining light in this. I think he's going to upstage the other two. To be quite honest, that's not hard in itself.
Oh yeah.
I think he will. I think he's
Yep.
going to the highlight this year. I think he's going to be the character that a lot of people will focus on and see what happens with, while keeping an eye on all the other stuff. But he will be focused. But I want to get the other two guys in just real briefly. Cinnamon Toast and Bad Wolf 66. But we'll start with Bad Wolf 66 first. So, Bad Wolf, what did you? See, I'm going into a flux. Right, so, here we go. Bad Wolf 66. What did you think of the episode? And if you could give us some good points to the episode, some things that you really enjoyed, and some bad points. That way you get given a balanced kind of deal. Go ahead.
Okay, well, the first episode had a very different feeling to it. It felt disconnected from series 11 and 12, from the first scene. I mean, normally it's all calm. You don't know what to expect, but this was like in your face. Like, look at this, look at that. Wow, whoa. It was like so much going on. I mean, it was literally an acid trip. And they were dangling into acid. But, plot armor saves them. I mean, the Carvanista is quite a crafty fella. I mean, I was thinking, who else could have played the Carvanista? Johnny Vegas. He just has that sort of humor about him. And I find that it's good that it's based in another city, being my own city, Liverpool. And I was there at some of the filming. I took a few pictures, but I didn't see any of the stars there. Let's see. Yeah, things that stood out. Carvanista, good. John Bishop, very good actor.
Yeah.
He almost feels like a real person.
Yeah.
And he outshines Graham, Ryan, Yaz. He just outshines them all.
I agree with you. Yeah, it's the most natural character I think Chris Chibnall has written, Bad Wolf. Would you agree?
Yep. I mean, he's not like... he's not like anything you'd expect. He's like gritty realism in a way. I mean, he's not he could be. I don't know if he's popular where he is. He could be, but no. What else? The effects look improved though. Apart from that first scene, which looked weird. The planet's being eaten up. Yeah, that was good. The flux was just obliterating everything like it should. The Sontarans were good. Yeah. Did you see the way it licked its tongue like there?
Yeah, they did that little, and that was a nice bit of dialogue between the Sontarans as well, and it was funny while being serious at the same time, which has been missing from the Sontarans, because under RTD, let's be honest, I didn't like the Sontaran stories are very good,
The tone
But
thing was
I
bad.
kind of didn't really like the Santaran design. I like this one. I just hope he can, Bad Wolf. I just hope, for the sake of the show now, he keeps producing because he needs to now. For the sake, we
Yeah.
know RTD is coming in, but for him as well, it'd be nice for him to go out on a high because he has taken a lot of stick. But I say it's justified anyway. But it would be nice. But go on, continue what you were saying
Okay.
anyway. You had a few
Yeah.
more points to make.
I hope he can keep up the momentum and doesn't slow down because he started on a high. I mean, there could be a mid-series dip, like as usual,
Yeah,
and then normally the last episode is the best. Well, in theory, anyway.
yeah.
The Weeping Angels, I'm not really a fan of now. I just think they've done what they've done, and you can't really do much with them.
I did like the Weeping Angel scene, though. I have to say, with Claire, wasn't it? The Weeping
think
Angel
so.
scene with Claire. I thought that was pretty intense. It was nice to see the Weeping Angels kind of go back to that because even Moffat himself destroyed his own creation, like I thought. So it was nice to actually see them be kind of that sinister, kind of edgier villain again. So I did like that. He is good at doing some things like that. That's the thing with Chris Chibnall. You
Yeah.
might like the Dalek design, but his Dalek story is very interesting. If you watch I know people don't like the special, but if you watch them and kind of just see what he's trying to do, there is something interesting going on there. That's the thing about Chibnall. He can put some interesting ideas in there. He's just a poor executor, and that's the thing. But so he's kind of produced some half decent this year. Now, can he improve? And as you said, that's the thing. Can he keep the pace up? Can he keep the
Yep.
pace up?
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see. I'll tell you what. We'll get Cinnamon Toast Crunch's opinion then, and then we'll have a little bit more of a chat, and then we'll leave it there. So, Cinnamon, do you want to give your opinion on the episode?
Yeah. Overall, I really found myself enjoying it, which is a bizarre feeling because it was not one I was expecting. It was not. No, it was certainly not a feeling that I was expecting going into it. But maybe that was why, because I wasn't even planning on watching it. I sent out a tweet saying I was unsure whether to watch it later on or to watch it now. But I thought I'd watch it now because it's going to be nigh impossible to avoid spoilers. So I thought I'd rather just get it out of the way. And perhaps that was a good thing because I did actually find myself enjoying it. And I'll probably find myself liking it probably more than a lot of other people, to be fair. The first scene, it was quite I sort of got Infinity War vibes. So it sort of starts off like straight away, bang, right in the middle of it, hanging over a pit of lava. So acid. I thought the effects were a little bit awkward. I thought they were good visuals. I just thought the way they were flying through space, handcuffed, I thought it looked a bit jarring.
Yeah.
But apart from that, the whole visual effects of like the planets being destroyed and the flux, I thought the production values really went really well there. I also felt Jodie was like less annoying in this one. I don't know, she seemed a bit more grounded, as in like there was a little bit of tension between her and Yaz when Yaz was constantly pressing her for an answer as why do you.
She was a side character.
Yeah,
That's
like
what it is.
there was a little bit of character development, like there was a little bit of confrontation, 3 seasons too late, but it was there, and I just thought like that's what I liked it in. I don't know if it was in Orphan 55, or it might have been. Oh no, I think it was The Timeless Child actually. I think it was Revolution of the Daleks, where Orion, Graham, and Yaz are all sitting there, and the Doctor's all sort of a bit doom and gloom, and she's a bit sad about the whole Timeless Child thing. And they're like, "Oh, we know who you are, Doctor. I'm going to talk like this because I talk like a wooden plank, and I'm from Sheffield. My name's Ryan." But yeah, and they were like sitting there, they were like, "Oh, but we know you, Doctor." And the Doctor was like, "No, you don't know me at all." And then they were like, "Yeah, you." And I felt like I was agreeing with Jordan. I was like, "No, you actually don't. You don't know the Doctor at all. You think you do."
Are you doing Noel, doing the Rabbi, doing Niaz?
No, I was doing Ryan's. I was doing an impersonation of Ryan because the way he speaks in the show just sounds like he's half dead.
I mean, Ryan's so full of life, isn't he?
Yeah,
That's why Dan is such a bright spark in this, because he actually is an interesting character and he's already a very likable character. Whereas, see, this is the thing, right? I know we give Yasmin Khan and Mandeep Gill stick for our acting, right? But let's be honest, when it's come to that character, he has actually done a disservice to the actress, to be quite honest. And why and it shows his weakness as well, right? See, everybody says that, oh, we can write female characters. He's great. But look at all these male characters. All of these male characters have been better written. Yeah, well, considering what he's done with the female characters, it's not hard. But they've been better written. Dan is better written than Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. Now, in this first episode, though, she was less goofy, as someone brought up. She was more serious. He needs to play to her strengths, and they are her strengths, believe it or not. So, as people said, there is a genuine threat now in this series. I want to see Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, or her herself now, give us a more consistent performance all the way through, and maybe step it up a level each episode. Can she do it? The jury is still out. That's the thing, and I'll be honest about it. But I've always said, right from day one, that Chris Chibnall's done her a disservice, because he should be playing her with her strengths, not her weaknesses. It's like as if he's wanted her to deliberately fail for some weird reason.
If he writes better for males, maybe he should have cast a doctor.
He seems to be playing her. But now he seems to be playing her, and it's early days though. But now he seems to be playing her to her strengths. Can he keep it up? This is the big question now.
Time will tell.
Sunday. Can he keep the momentum up? Can he develop Jodie Whittaker's Doctor even further, and the characters he's introduced, and move the story along at a pace that keeps everybody interested? Jury is out because of the last two seasons, but he started off okay. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt through the second episode. The second and third episode now, he needs to explain shit, because there's just a lot going on. If he can do that, I'm on board, and I'll still watch it to the end, but I'll be fully behind it and I'll be on board if he can produce. And if he can sort out that big elephant in the room, which is the timeless child. And that's what I'm going to ask you all next, right before we end this conversation. We're going to end on this topic, because this is important. I've seen recently a lot of chat now has kind of focused on the timeless children storyline, and how fans are saying that this is still a huge sticking point for them. Now, here's the question I've got for you guys. This is it. So, we've seen the first episode of Doctor Who Flux, Chapter 1. Do you think now that he is going to retcon this, or he's going to put it in its own bubble universe, or do you think something else? Right, that's the question. So I'll start off with Alpha Omega. Alpha, what do you think he'll do?
I don't think he'll retcon it. You said they weren't going to do that.
No. That's the rumor. Yeah, but we're not. No. Look. I think you're getting confused as well, like some people out there. Everything that I put out is rumor and speculation until it's either confirmed or doesn't happen. So just because I said something doesn't mean that it's going to be true. Yes, me sources have a high hit rate, but that doesn't mean that this piece of information is true. So ignore my rumor, right? I'm asking you, what do you think he's going to do?
I don't think he's going to retcon it directly. I think he's going to do like a workaround, like provide some kind of alternative universe or something going forward. That this wasn't in the what we know formally from the main series. it's not going to fit into that timeline. It's going to somehow be separate, but he's not going to retcon it.
Okay, thank you. Bad Wolf.
Well, I'd like it to be in its own bubble universe, but is Chibnall clever enough to even think of such things? Or is he just going to make it the main thing of the show now? I mean, only time will tell, I guess. I mean, we've got like 8 episodes left. I mean, I'm hoping he will retcon it enough so that the show can progress beyond what was supposedly established. So we can have better storylines and move on to a brighter future. And who knows, maybe RTD might retcon it himself, but from what one article said, he might build on it, so you never know.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. Him building on it. I have seen that article float about, and it was brought up on the stream. Obviously, I didn't know about it when we were doing our review. If I hadn't known, I would have actually brought it up. I don't think he's going to build on that side of it if it's going to be put in a bubble universe. I think he'll continue the main timeline and build on that, and maybe leave strands in that connect the two of them. As I said, though, if any retconning is going to be done, though, it'll be done by Chris Chibnall himself. I don't RTD. I've been consistent on this, and I'll say it again. Chris Chibnall is not going to retcon. Sorry, RTD is not going to retcon the Timeless Children. I've made that clear all the way through, consistently clear. So that's not going to happen. Any retconning that goes on is going to be done by Chris Chibnall himself, and that's the bottom. That's the bottom line.
I did have a thought. You know that when Stephen Moffat saved Gallifrey, well, I was thinking, what if Russell T Davies told Chibnall to destroy Gallifrey again, so we'd have Last of the Time Lords for his new run as showrunner? In a way, continuing the sort of Time Lord Victorious theme.
But I'd see we'll have to see. Look, I think we'll start having a clearer picture when we get in episode 2 and 3.
Yeah.
I think we've got some idea where this is going. If we don't, right, and we're still guessing and we're still trying to figure out where this is going, well, then to me that signifies then unless
by episode 6,
unless the writing, there is a huge improvement in the writing, that I don't think it'll justify not having answers by, or at least some idea what's going on by the 2nd and 3rd episodes. There's no excuse. If you're leaving it until the last episode to explain every single thing, you're leaving yourself a very hard job, to be quite honest with you.
You need closure.
It would have to be a 2-part finale, which means the first 4 episodes would basically, explain everything that's going on. And then the last episode is split into 2, and he explained it that way. There's no way he's going to be able to explain everything that he's trying to do in a 55-minute episode. Not a chance. There's not a chance. I don't care how good of a showrunner or writer you are. You're not going to. I'm sorry. There's no way. This has to be split in 2. Unless he leaves on a cliffhanger
special
to see a serious finale. And then we have to wait for the specials then. That'll be in my opinion, that would be a disaster.
He leaves it on an open end,
pissing people off.
Yeah. It's like, bye now, I'm gone. Thank you, bye-bye.
Right here, I'm leaving in about 10 minutes, right? But I just want to, because Jack is here apparently, so I'm going to bring Jack on, get his opinion real quick, because apparently they've been trying to send them the link. Sorry, in fact, I did send you an email though, ages ago when we first started. Did you not check our email?
Yeah, I did. Sorry, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to come on or not.
All right, well, you should have just come on. That's why I sent you the email. But go on anyway. You watched the episode? Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Right, go on. Tell us what you thought about it.
Very cluttered, but I will say it felt more like Doctor Who than anything in season 11 and 12. But yeah, I just didn't have a clue what was going on, to be honest. And apart from, I mean, Jodie was still terrible, in my opinion. Yaz was irritating. I quite like, I've forgotten his name already, I'm so sorry. Who's the new guy?
Dan.
John Bishop.
Yeah. I quite, he's okay. Seems like he's going to be a little bit funny. So fair play. Visuals, I would give a 10 out of 10. Like, I'm not going to lie, it felt like I was watching a Marvel film at one point, but that's kind of the vibes that the main villain gave me, like a wannabe Marvel villain. It didn't feel Doctor Who-ish, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, Doctor Who has a very specific type of, like, monsters and aliens that stand out from most things, but that guy just felt like something you'd get in a Marvel film.
Like Thanos.
Yeah, or who's the fella with the gem in his head? I always forget names.
Vision.
That's it. Yeah, he kind of reminded me of him in a way, just with crystals stuck in him. But I will say this: he's pretty cool, I suppose. But I can't help but worry that he is a part of the Timeless Child plot, and so is the woman who gets taken back in time by the Weeping Angel. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like they're a part of that, and this could be just building on it even more. But I love the cameos of the Weeping Angel and Sontaran actually surprised me. I was like, wow, I didn't realize they'd go into it that quickly. Love the design of the Sontarans, but I hate the way they talk. It irritates me. They just sound like something from the Sarah Jane Adventures. Well, actually, no, that's an insult. Sorry, that's an amazing show. Sound like something from a silly kids show. It's like, oh, you're old. Yeah, I'm old. It's like a bit of ageism going on there, but still. The next episode looks pretty cool, I'm not going to lie, with the Sontarans running across the field.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. But I worry that woman, whoever she is, I'm sorry, I all I did at school was draw. I never paid attention to history. But whoever that woman is, I'm worried she's going to be a political analogy that's just going to ruin the whole story. It's like, just give us Sontarans and explosions and we'll be happy. I have to admit, and I agree with you, Noel, about the whole, using explosions and things to make us think it's going to be good, when that could literally be 2 minutes of the episode.
Yeah.
The rest of it could just be stood around talking.
Attack!
Yeah, that's
interesting when you say it looks like Thanos.
Everybody has said it, because he has started at such a ferocious pace now. The thing about it is now, if he cannot let it dip. That's the thing.
The annoying thing is,
he has to keep the momentum up, and that's the thing. Can he do what he needs to do for the second episode and keep the momentum up? I don't know, and that's the worry.
The annoying thing is, when you have a cliffhanger like that, it's the end of the universe. I'm dead. You're not, and it's not, because we know we've got 5 more episodes.
Yeah.
So it's like when Moffat killed the Doctor. It's like, well, it's obvious he's going to come back, but it's going to be so difficult for you to make this worth it, and he didn't, in my opinion. It was all stupid. So I'm worried that the start of the next episode is just going to be her getting out her Sonic, whatever it's supposed to be, and just waving it at the door, and then that'll be it, problem solved.
She did the whole episode.
Yeah.
But
that's still a thing that Chris Chibnall does rely on, is the sonic screwdriver. I will say.
I have to say, the bit where she opened the heart of the TARDIS actually made me go, "Wow, Series 1 vibes."
Yeah.
I was just like, I wonder how much research she had to do to figure
Not
out.
only that, though, the way she was hitting the console with such ferocity as well, I was like, That's it, man. That's what
with the hammer as well. Yeah, that was quite a nice
That's the thing. That's what's pissed me off. I want to see more of that. We want to see her get emotional. We want to see her get angry. You know, we want to see something like a bit of spark. Come on, love.
Yeah,
I will say
energy.
she had that. Sorry, she had that when she confronted the dog character. Even though she used her screwdriver to deactivate the weapon and everything, which annoyed me, she had that kind of, right, I'm here and you're going to listen to me kind of attitude, and she had a bit of presence there, and I was like, oh, she's not just running away from things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna, I tell you, man, it's...
Yeah. I mean, why wasn't this done like 2 series
I wouldn't be surprised
ago?
if the... Sorry, you go ahead.
Okay. Why wasn't this done like 2 series ago?
No, I agree. I'm not, look, I said that as well. If this was anyway decent, I would ask the question, why wasn't this done?
Because he wasn't forced to do it till now.
Am I the only one who thinks that Russell is secretly handing Chibnall notes under the desk?
Listen, what did I say on this channel the other day, folks? What did I say? Don't be surprised if RTD and Stephen Moffat are helping their old mate out with this. Because it just seems to have a lot of Moffat and RTD vibes.
It's like a coup d'etat.
It's still being hampered by Chris Chibnall's writing, which is still not the best, but it's an improvement of what he's gave us. But there definitely is vibes going on. A lot of vibes. Or unless what he's done is he's just gotten the best things out of both of their eras and somehow managed to blend them all together and come up with a story of his own, which kind of seems to be a trick of his. Or he could be genuinely getting help. Because I'm being honest, if we analyse this compared to the last 2 seasons and the festive specials, this is the best thing he's written without a shadow of a doubt. So, like, something's happened in between. Something happened. There's no... I've said it here. I will look. It's not something I've been told or anything. I haven't been told this. This is just a gut feeling that I've had that maybe those 2 lads are helping him out. They're helping him out. It's his last series. Try getting him to go out on some sort of a high. So we'll see. Hand up to the wrist. Does Alpha want to say something? But I think someone else, Cinnamon, was gonna make a point.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Point then, Alpha. Go ahead, Simon.
I was just going to say that I can believe that actually about people even getting a help out, because I feel like sometimes Chibnall doesn't do original ideas. Like someone said there about it having quite a Marvel-esque feeling to it, and I can see that one because of the visual effects. The monster looks like a Thanos type character. He literally makes people disappear. Obviously, I know Thanos isn't the only movie character to ever make anything disappear, but there's a certain sort of vibe. And even last season, like you get the odd episode and you feel like, oh, this feels like a Star Wars type. Like, I mean, they've got a woolly animal. Everyone was saying looks like a Chewbacca. I mean, surely he can't sit there and thought, oh, this doesn't look like Chewie.
Discount Chewbacca.
It's not that. Does anyone remember when Doctor Who used to do these things first?
Yeah.
Like the Terminator did it first. Alien did it first.
I don't mind that, but listen, I know everybody's slagging the dog character off.
It was a good character.
I think the dog character is actually a decent character. Yeah, it is a bit stupid that RTD, that Chris Chibnall hasn't explained enough about him, and the fact that he does have an axe that glows in the dark or whatever. Right, that is a bit naff. But you've got to understand, he put that in for one reason and one reason only. That's for the marketing. That's for the toys for Christmas, right? That's what that dog is, right? Now, whether that character is going to have substance to it, we'll find out next week. Remember, the one thing I'll give him the benefit of doubt about is the fact that he did introduce a lot of characters, and unfortunately, there was less time to kind of explain them all. Episode 2 now, he needs to start explaining who these characters are. That's what I said. The next episode and the 3rd episode will be quite telling. We will know if he will fail or he will succeed after those 2 episodes.
I think the visualization of the doggo was naff, but the actor was good. The portrayal
was saying that the mouth wasn't moving properly. I mean,
Yeah.
I was watching the episode while I was live here, and the mouth was moving. I think people are just nitpicking at it. Like, the camera wasn't at the dog's face real close, and if it was, you would see that the mouth was actually moving in sync with the actor that was talking. You could see the mouth. That's the thing. I think people are just nitpicking. But the thing about it is, the character was introduced, but we don't know much about the character, and that's my problem. So
I couldn't help
next
think.
episode and the
Well, he's
third
part of the
episode,
division, isn't?
yeah, but
Yep.
that other than that, look, we know nothing. We know absolutely nothing. And Jodie Whittaker's even doctor's reaction. She knows there's something going on, right? But like, again, all we know is the Fluxus destroyed the universe, right? And mankind apparently was being saved by the weeping angels and those dogs. That's how it was explained to me.
Man's best friend.
So if that is the case, then there's a lot more. Look at this. This can only get bigger. Because if this falls flat the next episode, he's screwed. He's done. He's done.
This might be a subtle hint, though. Never-ending story.
Yeah.
Could be. It does have kind of
Meta.
echoes of that, doesn't it? Because you had the nothing that was actually helping it, wasn't it, along? And there could be someone helping this Flux along, and it could be one of those characters that we were introduced to. I mean, look at the scene with the two old men when they were talking, and he mentioned about the tunnels, and the one was fighting with the other fella because they were building tunnels. What are the tunnels for? And I reckon there's tunnels in the Arctic Circle as well. So there's a network. So there's something definitely going on either in the center of the Earth or something like that, or there's something, there's something definitely going on beneath the Earth anyway. So
Yeah.
It's a bone.
there's lots to get into, man. The problem I'm having here right now is, can he do it?
I mean, for all we know, the Solarians could come back out of nowhere.
Look, we could, at this stage, we could get the classic hits of every single bleeding villain known to man. This could be a Marvel type situation going on here.
Yeah.
But this is
Member
the
berry.
thing. 2 seasons and festive specials later, he hasn't been able
Bring
to
back the
produce.
Mara.
You have to
got
be
big
honest
vision.
about it. He hasn't produced. So this year now he has to actually produce. Can he do it?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, for his sake, for the show's sake, I hope he does. But I will always doubt him because obviously he has a past and a history with Doctor Who that isn't good, and the facts are there for everybody to see. So if you're going by all the evidence, then it would suggest that he's not going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
But we will see what he does.
Yeah.
We've got 2 episodes now to convince us that this is going to be something special. And it started off decent. Let's see, can he keep it up? Let's see, can he keep the momentum up? Let's see, can he character develop and story develop? Can he do all the things that we know he can't do with Doctor Who? Can he do it this time? Well, we will find out, folks, on Sunday. So join me for me live watch along. It's just myself. Daniel said he loved that stream, so it's just myself. I'll be watching the episode live with you guys and commenting while I'm watching. And then 15 minutes after, then we have the Tardis Zone Talks panel where we will be discussing the episode. So join me for that. But you know what? I will say one thing. We get criticised a lot on this side of the fandom for being negative. I think we've always been fair. To be quite honest, I think we were fair in our criticism of Series 11 and 12 in particular, and the festive specials. But I will say this: me hats off to him this time round. He gave us something that has piqued all of our interest, and let's be honest, for 5 years we haven't felt like that. So if he can keep this up, and actually give us something that we could say, yeah, this is actually good Doctor Who now, right? But it is too late, and he's gone anyway.
Yes.
So we already know it's too late anyway. But if you can go out on some sort of a high, I will say, fair enough. Fair enough. Credit where credit is due. But he's done a lot, and now he's got to produce. And if he doesn't, he's going to end up looking like an idiot, as he always does. And I hope he doesn't, because, you know, I'm sick of coming on here criticizing all the time. But if it's bad next week, don't worry, because a lot of you have said, oh, Noel's toned down a little bit. Well, we'll see who's toned down by next week, by Sunday, because if this episode doesn't produce, then I'm going to be very angry. And I'm not messing. I will be, because he's after making me kind of believe that he can do something, and then he takes it away in the very next episode. No.
It takes you away.
I will not be settling for that. No way. He's not going to do it to me a third time, but he probably will do it to me a third time, and I'm an idiot again then for the third season in a row and believing that this man can produce. But you know what? I'll always believe that he can produce. You know, no matter how bad I think he is, I always try to give someone the benefit of the doubt. I try to give them a chance every time. Not like a clean slate, but I do try to put the past behind and try to give them a fair shot. Now, he's after giving me something that has piqued me interest and genuinely, you know, felt like a Doctor Who episode. Don't take it away from me now, episode 2 and 3, you know. Produce. Give us something that we can all get behind and be proud of. It doesn't matter what part of the fandom you're in or what side of the argument you're on, whether you believe in a female Doctor or not. That's not the point. It's about the writing. It's about what you can do now.
Oh, for sure. He's done one thing, though. He's brought his previous audience by the numbers, plus a few of us.
Yeah, it's about the actor. It's about the writing. It's about the storyline. It's about the plots and everything like that. When everything all comes together, it's an amazing show. And you know that we'll all be on board for that, because we just don't want to sit through rubbish, and we know it.
Absolutely. And now my wife is a science fiction normie, though. She likes science fiction, but she's a normie. And he couldn't keep
Here's hoping he can deliver it.
5 minutes and my wife is asleep. So let's see if he can figure it out between writing 2 episodes. Hey, I might want to write for people who I want to bring into the audience.
I felt that, like, I found the pacing of it was quite quick, but I still found it easy to follow. Like, I found it quite easy to understand, which sounds quite ironic considering there's a lot of themes there and there's a lot of different plot threads that are going through it. But like, if you weren't really paying attention, let's say you're scrolling through your phone at the same time, it could be, I suppose it could be confusing. Then, like, 1 minute it's with the Doctor, and then the next minute out of nowhere the scene is where this woman is getting chased by the Weeping Angels, which I found was a little bit confusing. Because, like, but then again, it does flux, so everything's out of phase. So obviously, over the time, we've got a lot of questions, and I'd assume obviously this is all going to get unravelled over the course of them.
There was something interesting about that, Claire. It was when she was confronted with the Weeping Angels, and she had the key in her hand, and it looked like the Tardis Yale key. And you noticed the door, the colour of the door. It was Tardis blue.
Yes,
I know. There's something. Look, I'm. As someone actually even mentioned, that Ace may return. Ace may return. Look, that there's as I said, there's something big going on. He's planning something big, but the execution is what we're all worried about right now.
Yeah.
But look, I'm willing to give him one last shot. We know he's gone anyway. But this is it. Don't ruin it now. You've set up something. It's interesting. So let's see you kick on now and actually, I want to sit here next week and actually be praising this and saying, yeah, we got more character development. I don't want to be coming here next week angry because he
has to do it for 6 short hours.
I know, and we'll see if he can produce. Look, fingers crossed, but we will be here analysing every single facet of his writing. And we will have everybody on. We're going to have the panels as well. It's going to be an interesting time. I just fingers crossed. That's all I can say. I just have to be hopeful that now this is the start of something. Because remember, when he goes, if he leaves on a high, then we're going to be even buzzing more when RTD officially takes over, and there'll be even more excitement, and then hopefully then the fandom. See, that's what I want to see happen.
Hopefully,
I know this fandom will never come together like it did, but I would like to see some peace in the fandom once again. This
like in the old days.
For too long. 5 years of back and forth from both sides, right? I have said to everybody, of course I've played my part, but I've always defended myself. But again, new series starts and they're already talking about me and stuff, saying that there's no redemption for me because I'm still a sexist, racist, bigot, and all of this, and I don't get a clean slate. Number one, right? I just want to say one thing and make this absolutely clear. I don't need a clean slate because I was justified and I was true to myself when I was given criticism of this era. Everything I said has panned out. Okay. I have faced false allegations, criticism from all sides well, not all sides of the fandom, but most of that other side of the fandom. Right? I've nothing to apologise for. Everything that I said about Jodie Whittaker's doctor is true. I don't think that she was the right actress to take the job. I'm not backing down on that and never will back down on that. So there is no redemption to be had because I was justified in every single thing that I said about this era. This is the first time that Chris Chibnall, in my opinion, has given me something that has piqued my interest. Yeah. But episode 2 and 3 will be quite telling if he can actually produce. So I just want to say to me, the naysayers out there, if you think by me praising the first episode and giving it kudos for being interesting is me seeking some sort of redemption, well then you are really a clueless bunch of individuals because I am not seeking any sort of redemption. The fact of the matter is that Chris Chibnall has actually managed to give us something decent that we've been screaming for ever since he took over Doctor Who. But that doesn't mean because we like the first episode that we're going to like every single story that comes after that. He still has to prove himself to this fandom. He's gone anyway, but if he wants his legacy to be remembered more favorably, then this is the season to do something and to rectify the damage that he has done. And I will stand by that. So I'm not looking for any sort of redemption. What you got from me is what you have gotten for the last few years is an honest opinion and my view on how bad this era has been.
Noel, take a look at Chris Persia's comment that he just put up. I think that's exactly what you're getting at.
Where is it now? Hold on.
How I look at it is like a bit like a fart. Chris Chibnall has already done the damage. He's like, it's already happened. You can't stop it. There's nothing you can do about it. There's like a waiting period. There's a little bit of a spell before the smell comes in, and that's what it is. That's what these episodes are. These episodes are the smell. Hopefully, it won't be as bad. Hopefully, it won't be as bad.
Noel is ready to kick the ball, and Chris Chibnall is Lucy.
Oh, okay. But look. At the end of the day, so far, I'm quite happy to continue watching this. As I said, I went in with no expectations, but he did surprise me. And he surprised a lot of us, let's be honest, because I will actually say this. While opinions have been mixed on it and people have pointed out the flaws and stuff like that, and some people didn't like some elements to it, let's be honest, it's been mostly positive though. Even within the negative comments, there's validation. But those people that have been negative have also come out and said, oh, but there were parts that I did like. So I just want to say to everybody in this community that I'm actually proud of everybody, that everybody's been able to kind of put not the past behind them, but to judge this on its own merits, because it seems like everybody is actually doing that. And you should give yourselves a pat on the back, because I'll tell you why. You have had to put up with a lot of stuff over the last 5 years with certain parts of this fandom and criticism from the media. And for you to come out and to be the bigger person in this situation and to give this serious and honest appraisal so far, I have to say well done to you all, because we do get criticised on this side of the community, but I always do believe that we are honest with our opinions and our points of view, and we wouldn't say them unless we genuinely believed that what was happening. So I have to say well done to you all. But next week it could be back to normal when Chris lets us down.
Night, Cardi.
Let's hope not, guys. Let's hope not. I will ask me moderators to put all the channels in the chat if you could for me, please. That would be absolutely fantastic. I think we just lost someone there. But we're going to wrap up tonight, and what we're going to do is we're back on Friday. So if any of you guys that are on the panel want to come on again on Friday, do me a favor, straight after this stream, send me a message and I'll put your name down. Look, I have a green folder there now, right? So I'm going to do things properly. So if you want to come on, look, hold on. So there's the camera. All right. So if you want to come on, I'll put your names down in me nice little green folder there. Right.
Okay. Yep.
Be great. Let me know.
Right, if you write it down, the SJWs will take it.
And you can all come on. But listen, thanks to me panel for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for letting us.
Yeah, no problem. I hope now we're not sitting here this time next week deflated because he's let us down.
Yeah.
Let's hope not. Fingers crossed. Look, let's have a little tiny bit of positivity. I could have egg on my face next week, but I don't care. That's what being a Doctor Who fan is. Look, I will say this one final thing. I think I speak for us all when I say this. Again, we get a lot of criticism. But I will say that even though we've gotten all of that, we've had to deal with what we've had to deal with. A lot of us have watched from day one, right? Okay, we're told we're not real Doctor Who fans, but we've watched from day one. The thing about us is this. We're Doctor Who fans first and foremost. And yes, this show has gone through a bad period. But we're not going to give up on the show just because it's gone through a bad period. You don't stay with a show just because it's good. It's going to have its periods where it's bad. And this has been a very bad one. But a lot of people have watched and stuck by it. And again, I have to praise you for that, because it has been tough. So well done. We're nearly at the end of this journey. And then we start a brand new adventure with RTD. And let's hope the show then can move on from this era and actually improve. Fingers crossed. RTD is not a miracle worker after all, but he is an award-winning showrunner that decided to come back to Doctor Who, cost BBC Studios 40 million. So with that said, I think that the fact that they've done that shows me and should tell all you guys that are watching right now how bad this era actually has been to Doctor Who on every level when it comes to advertising, merchandise sales, and all of that other stuff that goes with it. The fact that they've spent 40 million are going to lose 40 million for bringing RTD back on board just tells me everything that I need to know.
Hopefully it's money well spent.
So let's see now what can happen. Look, the countdown for RTD has officially begun. That's the way I framed it, because we got the full.
Yeah, that's how I look at it as well, like a Christmas countdown. Only 8 episodes to go.
Countdown has begun, so let's be excited. Let's see if Chris Chibnall can produce as well at the same time. And you know, maybe we can go into the new era with spirits up high. That's what it's all about now. You know, hopefully getting the spirits of the fandom a little bit high until RTV comes. He's officially announced. Well, he's officially announced, but when he does his first interview, proper interview, when he's talking about what he's thinking, then we'll all be sitting up and paying attention, and I'll be buzzing. I'll be buzzing. Right, gonna leave it there. Gonna say thank you to Real Super Doctor. Thanks for joining us.
No bother.
Bad Wolf 66. Nice to hear from you. And again, as I said, if you want to come on Friday, you're more than welcome. But it's nice to see it.
Nice to see you too, Noel.
And Jack, if because you didn't get much time to speak, but if you want to come on Friday, let me know and I'll put your name first on the list, and you'll be the first person I'll send an email to. Okay.
Thanks, Noel.
Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. And of course, if you have any artwork that you've been saving up and you have, we'll showcase some of your work on Friday as well, if you want to. Okay.
I've got the Halloween one. If anyone hasn't seen that,
I'd love to see it.
No problem at all. And on comics, nice to have you on board again.
Thank you, sir.
And we got cinnamon toast.
Best for last, of course.
See that I got that out now without stuttering this time. But thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I do kind of get stuttery on that one. And I want to thank all my moderators, Lee, Chris, and all the other guys in there. And a huge thanks to Alpha Omega, because I think it was Alpha Omega who we lost. There was Alpha Omega who we lost, actually. Probably his internet. But thank you, guys. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you soon. Have a good one. I'm off now to make some swordfish for dinner. Cheryl went to the fancy shop and she got it was on sale because it has to be eaten by tonight. So I'm gonna whack on some swordfish and do something with it.
Sounds nice.
Like I've cooked fish before, a lot of fish, but I've actually, believe it or not, I've never actually cooked swordfish. So
sounds quite fishy.
Yeah.
Chicken and cedar.
I didn't loose. I left. LOL. All right, you left. Okay, fair enough. Thanks for popping on anyway. Really appreciate it. If you want to come on, on Friday, you're more than welcome. You know that. Right, we'll leave it there, folks. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you soon. I will have my review, and Cheryl will have her review at some stage. But thanks everybody that supported the channel. If you haven't supported the channel yet, I would suggest that you subscribe, because this is the channel that will give you an honest appraisal of this series. And we have really a lot of outspoken people on this channel. So you'll get different kinds of opinions, even within the group. You know, we all do agree on certain things, but we do disagree on other things. That's what I like about this panel. We don't always agree. And that's what I like about it. Because, you know, as I said, everybody's opinion counts, whether you agree with it or disagree with it. That's the way it works, and that's the way it's always worked. And, you know, I know there's certain people out there that want to change how that works, but the reality is that's how it works, and that's how it's going to stay on this channel anyway. Okay. See you later, folks. Have a good one.
See you later.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Us.